Welcome to the Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew and let's get to the show.
Thunder, my life, thunder, my life, I will go in the middle of the road. Oh, God. Welcome to the Daily Grind. Thunder. See, that wasn't terrible.
I was trying to stay on beat.
You were on beat. I need to know that I got a musician in my midst when you're in here. You play bass. You know what you're doing. You get it. Rusty's not here today, so Rusty just looks at me. He doesn't give me percussion. He doesn't lay down.
Oh no, I'm with you.
Lay down a sick beat.
Yeah, there is there may be a slight delay between me and you, but I can promise you what I'm hearing you say when I hear it, I'm keeping beat like on my end. You know?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, see, that's funny how like off key I am because it still sounded right in my head. I was like, yeah.
Oh, you're fine. I can't help you sing, brother. I can't do that.
Hey, nobody can. Not even an ounce of hope. I'll need more than that. Shout out everybody in the comments. I see Rusty. Sorry for coming at you. Look, everybody's favorite blackjack dealer. Uncle Buck said scavenger hunt, blackjack dealer.
I like it.
Thank you.
Maybe a little safari-ish, but I like it.
You
can pull it off. And also the mesh strip across the front seems like it would make a terrible tan line.
Oh no.
Have you had that experience yet?
No, I feel like I should cut the break and come back and see if
maybe it's some special kind of mesh. I don't know.
A special kind of mesh.
It's the SPF mesh.
SPF mesh. I need it. God, my skin. I'm so pasty. I'm already off the rails. Let's talk about some basketball. You and I haven't got to talk. Just us hoops in a hot minute, just one-on-one. And we had a interesting game last night. I think we were all pretty much like, this is the outcome that we all expected was going to happen in game one. And since game one didn't go this way, I think we all expected game two to go this way.
Right.
But what do you want to start with? Let's there's a lot we could go with. We could go with Halliburton's 17, which I think that was the last thing we talked about last night in our group chat, was how he needs to do more. I mean, you look at each team as a superstar, and
right.
SGA had what, 34? I mean, SGA put on a masterclass last night.
I can start with SGA because I kind of teased a little bit. I found myself last night, and there is a caveat here. I found myself just enamored by SGA last night.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's taken this long that the Grizzlies kind of we've separated ourselves from the elimination by the Warriors this far to where I've actually been able to kind of center myself maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I was just really intently watching, and I was like, he's amazing.
Yep.
And I've been such a hater. And I think the one caveat I'll make about it is he was not flopping. He was not being a free throw merchant last night, and I do hate a free throw merchant, so he earns my hatred when he does those antics. But last night he had 34 points, and he shot, well, he did go 11 of 12, so down the stretch at the end he did hit a lot of free throws, but it didn't seem to me like it was like flailing.
No,
because he is a surgeon when he's setting up his own shot, looking for his own shot. And I think that's the part of his game that I've tried to give him credit for. And I've even talked about it on our show with Rusty. Is like, listen, he's getting to the free throw line, but it's not James Harden level, where James Harden wasn't even looking to make shots. SGA is so crafty to where he's getting fouled, but it's not because he's always, now he does it a lot. It's not always this.
Yeah.
It's that it don't matter how hard of defense you're trying to play against him, he's going to get you out of position.
Yeah.
And Doris Burke said it last night. He's setting these moves up to either draw contact or to evade contact. And if he's setting it up to draw contact and you're contacting him, that's a plus for him. That's one thing James Harden and Trae Young didn't do. Is they would drive and then throw up a shot over their head to say they shot, but they were never looking to make the shot.
Yeah, no,
and SGA last night was just amazing.
I mean, there were calls in the fourth that yesterday was the first time where I was like, man, he's getting his ass beat, and they're not calling some of the stuff. Like last night was the first time where I was like, man, these are tough.
That's what I want out of playoff basketball. I want an extra level of physicality, and especially with these two teams that pride themselves on getting in passing lanes, stripping the ball, getting out in transition. Like, you need to let them, beef it up a little bit.
Yes.
And so I thought the free throws weren't terrible. Let's see, Oklahoma City shot 33 free throws, which is not astronomical. And Indiana shot 26. And I mean, still maybe a touch high. What's 27? What's 33 plus 26 is 59 free throws in a 48-minute game. It's probably still too much.
Yeah.
As far as SGA, and this point was just about SGA for me, is like he was dynamic last night. He was so much fun.
Yeah, he was incredible. And on the flip side, I don't want to say that it's not that Hallie wasn't incredible. It's
you
just
that
you'll say it. I would say he wasn't great, but more so I was just like, I can't imagine one playing, and J Dub said this, I think at the start of the third, at the end of the third, they were like, what are you guys doing on Hallie? Why is he playing so poorly? And he goes, Lou Dort. He was like, it's Lou Dort. Lou Dort, if you got Lou Dort guarding you, and then you have to go from that to Caruso, which I'm going to shout out Rusty. I don't know how you call anything on Caruso. The dude's like constantly just got his hands like glued to people. But I mean,
right.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch play because of that.
He gets that Tony Allen treatment. You listen to Tony Allen talk, and it was like, listen, they just knew that I was going to defend hard. And so every game, the referees had to decide whether they're going to foul Tony Allen out in 5 minutes or they're going to let him play.
Yeah. Yep.
And
everything's a foul.
No ref is going to want to take Alex Caruso out of that game in the first quarter because he's being handsy, and he's handsy every single game. So it's just, he's graded on a curve a little bit. He's graded by himself because everybody knows he's going to be that physical. I love it.
I love it too. You're absolutely right, though. It's like everything's a foul in the first 5 minutes, and you got to decide then if you're going to call it or you're going to let it go.
Right.
And
you can foul Caruso out. Honestly, it's like offensive holding in football.
Yes.
Like, you can call it on every play if you want to, or you just call the egregious ones. Like, you just make up your mind, like, hey, we're not going to let this football game have 200 yards of penalty yards and last 7.5 hours. So we're going to have to let some go.
Yep. And it makes for better basketball. I mean, like we're like
totally
hands down, especially with this team. I mean, like Hallie was, shout out Jalen. Like Hallie was just like every single person had their hands on Hallie. I mean, let's talk about the role players a little bit, if you don't mind, because while we're on the Thunder, we're talking about Alex Caruso. Dude had 20 points. They also got 18 out of Andrew Wiggins.
Aaron Wiggins,
not Andrew Wiggins. Whoa.
The other.
I broke.
Yeah.
Aaron, I was like, Aaron Wiggins. Like, if you're gonna get 38 between those two dudes, as opposed on the other side, Obi Toppin had 3 points and he was 1 of 8. Like,
yeah. Well, listen, the old adage is role players play better at home. That did happen in game 1 for the Thunder. It did happen in game 2. I think they said on the broadcast it was the first time in NBA Finals history that 5 players had over 15 points in the game.
Since 2019, right? Since I think the Raptors. Okay. Or maybe that was the last.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that
Raptors makes sense. Hey, breaking news. One of those was Pascal Siakam.
Bingo.
Yeah. So he got a taste of his own medicine last night.
Yep.
But yeah, Jay Will, I think, was the second best player on the court, and it wasn't even close. Jay Will was, or J Dub, I guess. I
get him confused too.
Yeah.
And they had Jay Will mic'd up on the bench, but J Dub was, whatever.
Yeah, we should just drop, like, there is only one Jalen Williams on this team, and it's Jalen Williams, the good one. The bad one has to change his name entirely.
Let's just call him Jay.
Yeah. Mr. J.
Mr. J. Yeah. Like Agent J.
J-Dub was incredible last night, and he was not good in game one, and Chet was not good in game one. He was incredible last night.
Yeah, both those dudes, but Chet and Mr. Williams.
And then you compare that to what Indiana did last night, and their role players were no good at all. You said Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam had 15, Neesmith had 14, Turner had 16, but none of and Nembhard had 11, but Nembhard and Turner were 50% from the field. Nobody else was. And
we just said the other team had 5 guys over 15. This team had 2. Like
right. That's right. Matherin, I thought looked good in spurts. He's shown me a little bit more. I feel like he can keep up in this series.
Yeah.
I thought Matherin looked good. You know, with Matherin, you're going to get what you get, and there's going to be cons to go with every pro typically with him because he's a young, dynamic, super freaky athlete that doesn't make great decisions. But I thought last night he fit in well, and I thought he was pretty good. He see what his plus minus was. See if my eyes were just totally off on that. Yeah, he was a -9, but they lost by 20. But they lost by 16. So I'm not going to take that. Anyways, Halliburton. I have a real problem with him only taking 13 shots. And yeah, you can say the Lou Dort treatment, but listen, if you're going to be a superstar and you're going to be in the NBA Finals, you're the best player on this team, you've got to have a response of some sort. You've got to be able to get your shot off. And he played way too passively last night. And what I said in the group message with me, you, Rusty, and Wayno,
I just found the timestamp too. I was trying to see when you texted us how many points he had. So at halftime, he had 3.
And I was like, listen, this is what Halliburton was in game 1, except he hit a buzzer beater.
Yep.
And so maybe we're not ready for all-time great Halliburton yet. Now, all-time clutch, yes, but I need to see him get 30 at home in game 3 and 4. And he's really going to have to solidify himself as the alpha of this team. Because I still don't believe that a team without an alpha, a top 10 player in the NBA, can win a series. Like, you've got to have that guy. And you haven't seen a collective win a championship since the Pistons. And this is a totally different
20 years
basketball
ago.
game that we're playing here.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to hear about how the Spurs were collective either, because Tim Duncan's an all-time great. You know, they had Duncan.
Tim Duncan's a top 10 all-time, top 15 all-time player.
Yeah, absolutely. They did operate offensively on a string, and there was a system there that was great, and it was a collective kind of movement. But Tim Duncan is a top 15 basketball player of all time.
Yep, and that's not debatable. Not on this show. It's
Rusty would probably disagree with you. He hated Tim Duncan.
Looking at all their stats at halftime. Now that I've got that screenshot you pulled up, Siakam 9 points.
Nobody was in double figures.
No, Neesmith 5, Miles Turner 4, Nembhard 9, Halliburton 3, Toppin 3. So we were looking at the guys in double digits. Nembhard scored 1 goal in the second half. Like, it's not sustainable. And you do have to give a lot of credit to OKC. You know, I wanted to bash Halliburton a little bit because I believe if you're a superstar, no matter who's playing defense, you've got to get your shots off. You got to find good looks. That's part of the gig of being a superstar. But Oklahoma City deserves a lot of credit for that because, like I said, everybody was inefficient. I believe as a team, they shot under 50%, and from 3 they were bad. Let's see. Team stats. As a team, they shot 45%. They shot 35% from 3. And what goes to show you, just like they played better defense all around, is that they didn't. The turnover margin was virtually identical. Both teams. Let's see. Turnovers. Indiana had 15 turnovers. Oklahoma City had 14. Points off turnovers was 14-17. So when we talk about Oklahoma City needing a lion's share of their points being off forced turnovers and points off those turnovers that are forced, that margin wasn't there. So it was just straight up defense and making the Pacers inefficient that won the game for them. Yeah, man, that's a good point. I think I knew this game was over when I looked up and I saw Johnny Furphy in the game.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for my man Furphy because
were you as confused as I was?
Well, it was kind of Pacers games have been infamous for this. Is like, oh, they're down 15. I'm gonna like look at my phone for a minute, and so like I was just kind of my mind wasn't 100% zoned in on the game, and I heard Doris Burke say, "And Johnny Furphy's getting minutes," and I look up, and SGA has ISO'd him and taken him. Like I was like, come on, my man. Fresh off the bench for the first time in this series, and I don't know when the last time he played basketball was. It just immediately gets targeted by SGA for a foul and a bucket. Like,
yep, immediately.
Like, okay, that's a hate crime.
I mean, he's not the reason they lost the game. It was just I was like, hey, I get it, I get it. Rick Carlisle, you like to play 10 dudes, maybe keep it to 10 and not 12.
Well, and Carlisle, in my opinion, did kind of a Taylor Jenkins thing last night. I was like, hey, is anybody going to do good? Yep. All right, let's try the next guy. Yep. And Johnny Furphy got his minutes. And if you took this to Grizzlies thing, that was your Conchar minutes where Rusty is now just like peeling the paint off of his wall, screaming because he sees Conchar. And it's like, okay, well, can he do it? And it turns out first possession, no, he can't. And back to the bench he went.
Carlisle pulled it. I love Carlisle. So this game's going back to the field house in Indianapolis. Tied 1-1. I do think the pitcher's going to win one game there at least. I hope.
This is what I said on the Two Buck Sports Show on Friday. After recapping game one, like, I don't think that the Pacers can win a series that goes back to Oklahoma City 2-2. So they're either going to have to win game 2 in Oklahoma City, or they're going to have to win 3 and 4 in Indiana. That's what I think. I think that's what, because a best out of 3 series, when it's tied 2-2, it becomes a best out of 3 series, and Oklahoma City plays 2 of those at home.
And holy shit, that I'm part of my language. That arena last night, it just seems hard to play it. I was watching with Kyla. My partner was like, they just convinced all them to put the same shirt on, and I was like,
yeah, and they shame them. Listen, I like postseason stuff like that. Like, I love the growl towels. Like, oh yeah, I feel like that's kind of in the same spirit, the shirts and the growl towels. However, when you're all wearing matching shirts and the game starts, and it's just like, it feels like, COVID, they hung everybody's pictures up. It's like cardboard cutouts, evenly spaced. That's what it looks like. It looks like the Wii Arena, because they're just all matching shirts. It looks dumb if you're losing, but if you're winning, you're up, you're chanting and cheering and everything. It looks good, and they are a vocal crowd. Yeah. But like for the first half, Oklahoma City, the first quarter was pretty close. In the second quarter, Oklahoma City really kind of extended their lead there going into the halftime and never surrendered it. But I felt like a lot of that game, I watched them just kind of sitting there like this, and they're all in their matching shirts. And then it's just like, okay, this is a Wii game. This is a Wii Arena.
It made it great for the Pacers fans because you could just see them stick out like a sore thumb. You're like, ooh, there's one.
Oh yeah, I said on our show, it's like if I was a Pacers game in game 1, would have been like euphoric. Because everybody's in their matching white shirts, and I'm going to wear my yellow because I want to be stuck. I want to stick out, and all the sad uniformed fans, and then just me in my yellow, like, yeah.
Yes, sirs. The unsung hero for me for this series so far has been Ben Shepherd's mustache. How about yours?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You can see that sucker coming off the bench, brother. That thing's huge. Belmont till I die. Belmont.
Is he Belmont?
Yeah, brother. That's not the chant, but go Bruins. Is he a
Bulldog? What's Belmont?
Bruins.
Yeah, Bruins. It came to me late.
1 degree away from a grizzly bear, baby.
Yeah. Can somebody tell me why a Bruin mascot is always a grizzly bear?
I don't know, bro. I'm not a scientist.
I don't know what a Bruin is, but you got UCLA and their on-field mascot is a bear. You're saying that's the case with Belmont too?
There's the real quick mascot aside. The Thunder mascot's a bison, or what is it? A buffalo?
I don't know.
It's
It's
horrifying.
weird looking, isn't it?
It
Like
is
a-
horrifying.
It's like a yak.
Yeah, dude. I saw it. I saw it like talking to kids in the commercial yesterday, and I was like, "Get that thing out of here! That thing's scary."
For the risk of like setting myself up for jokes, because Rusty loves this, but Ole Miss has a infamous history with mascots.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always just what do you want the fluffy animal to be on the sideline?
Yeah.
Because they got rid of Colonel Reb because he's racist. And so they went to like a black bear, which was fine, but like because again, this is for kids. That's what the
mascots for
yak
kids.
is for.
Yes.
Mascots are for kids. Okay.
Yes.
And then everybody wanted something different. They didn't like the black bear anymore. So then they went with the land shark, which was like this man in a muscle compression suit with a shark head that looked like a can opener. And it was the worst. Like they should have just done a fluffy Katy Perry halftime show.
That shark. Yeah.
That would have been hilarious. You could have had fun with it. But then instead, if you've never seen the,
I'm looking it up as soon as we get off.
Here, you talk for a minute. This is too bad.
I'll vamp. We got enough about the game because we did have a little bit of Grizzlies news while we look for this land shark.
Right.
We can't have any. You got it. Why?
It looks like an alien
why?
can opener.
He's like wrinkled too. Is he wrinkly? Oh no.
This was something like you did for kids, but it made kids cry.
That's if I
Like,
see
scary.
like you walk around a corner and that thing's in an alley. Good night. Your night's over, man. That thing's
COVID. What a silly time that was.
They don't. One, fish breathe out of gills. What?
They don't even breathe.
They don't even breathe out of their mouths. What do I do? Never mind. I digress. We can't have nice things, Uncle Buck. We're not allowed. We should just. There we go for thinking that in the middle of the summer I can have. For in the middle of June I can turn off the Grizzlies PR notifications because it was announced that Zach Edey re-injured his left ankle and he's going to have surgery. And he is likely. Let me find the. I had it pulled up. The Memphis. Well, no, it went away. Nah, I don't care.
It says they came out to say later. Not the Grizzlies didn't. They didn't issue a timeline, but most people think that it came out that people reported that he would miss the start of the season.
Yeah,
Rusty said 6 to 8 months in our group chat. Like
God. Is
humans
you
are
put it
not
very,
supposed to be that big.
Thank you.
Like, I mean, it just is what it is. You know, one of my favorite Chris Vernon bits that he did about, and I don't even think he was talking about Zach Edey. This is way before Zach Edey. But he was like, you know, back in Roman times, your gladiators were never the tallest people. Those people were picking apples. You know, like your athletic, the people we thought to be athletic were, you know, average build, muscular, not lanky and slow.
5'10" and a half.
Yeah, like imagine if Boban would have been the main character in Gladiator 2. Like, no, that's just not true. That's not how it was.
You don't give ideas like that away for free, my friend. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I've got a screenwriting. But all my movies will feature Boban.
Man,
Boban, who's in Happy Gilmore 2.
I can't wait for Happy Gilmore 2. We'd have a whole pod about that. So here's Rusty, big guy, recurrent ankle sprains on a team, ultra conservative with injuries. Corver took 3 to 4 months of this. He thinks Edey's going to be out at least 4 to 6 months, up to 8. So
4 months would put you at the start of the season.
I mean, it might be December. So, oh my God. So with him likely to miss the start of the season, we find ourselves in a situation. Mainly,
I guess we can't trade him.
Yeah, it means your hands are tied. I mean, it means a lot of things. One, but the question I have for you is, who's the Grizzlies starting center at day one? Who starts for this team center day one?
Brandon
is he on the roster right now
for the start of season either? Is he?
Who?
Brandon Clark?
No, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't want to. If
we assume Brandon Clark's, the chat can help me. I've tried to put last season out of my memory.
I think he's going to be out at least until. I think he's out.
Because was it ACL?
PCL, right?
PCL. That's right. Let's just pretend he's
out.
injured right now.
Let's say he's out for at least 2025, the calendar year. So let's say we missed it. We don't get him until 2026.
Okay. Now, Rusty corrected us. He said he should be ready for fall camp. So,
okay.
All right. There's your starting center.
That's
my vote. BC and Jaron always play good together. He's a vet. I love Brandon Clark. That's my vote. Outside of him, I mean, you're looking at Santi or Jay Huff and
or Bags. I mean, the
Bags is still a free agent. I mean,
yeah, that's the biggest thing for me that this indicated was mainly that maybe Bags stays here. Maybe, I mean, I just for any sort of insurance, because we're going to talk about it maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, but there's rumors out there that other teams are interested in Santi. That's a little bit more your front court going out the window. The one healthy person that we have signed outside Jaron is Jay Huff.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one you can at least say, well, I don't think he's going to get injured. Knock on wood.
He's taller than 7 foot though.
But listen, there's just too much of a history here for people that's that big. I mean,
yeah.
And if you told me he had a bad shoulder, like, okay, we'll deal with you. But like foot problems from a 7'5" guy, like I feel like we've seen this movie before. Like Yao had a Hall of Fame career, but most of the reason why he got into the Hall of Fame was what he did in China, his Olympic history. That matters in the NBA, in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not an NBA Hall of Fame.
No.
But you look at guys like Greg Oden, it's always feet, man. Like Marc Gasol had a Liz Frank injury. It happens more regularly with big guys. And listen, I've never been the guy. So if you want the Pollyanna, like hopefully, best case scenario perspective from Edey, I'm not your guy because I've never been an Edey guy.
Yeah.
But like I feel like you can look in history books, and if he rebounds and has a 12-year career in which he makes a couple all-star team, like has a Marc Gasol kind of trajectory, like accolades, an all defensive team, maybe a DPOI, a couple of all-star games. Like, I think that's a good expectation for their fans. Like nobody's expecting him to be like a 5 times all NBA here.
He's not going to be a lot.
But if you say he gets a DPOI, all defensive teams a couple times, makes a couple all-star games in a 10-year career, that's a massive success. I don't think that would be the first one at 7'5" that's ever done that I can remember. Especially in an NBA game now that is so fast. Like, it's just not built for it. And I'm scared that we're seeing that he's not built for it. Like, it has nothing to do with his mentality. I love his mentality. It has nothing to do with anything about Zach Edey, the person. It's just the frame that he's built on.
The physical makeup of that young man does not benefit itself to long-term play in the current NBA. In the way that
I don't want to single out King Meeks. I love King Meeks here. But like he mentioned in the comments Sam Bowie and Bill Walton. Well, Sam Bowie was the biggest bust of all time. He's only remembered for being taken ahead of Michael Jordan. And Bill Walton is not 7'5", and Bill Walton also
feet problems ruined his
cost
career.
Him his career. He had a resurgence late with who did he end up winning? He won a title with Portland, but then he ended up playing for
Boston, right?
Boston.
Yeah.
Like feet problems cost him the lion's share of his career.
He would have been one of the best big man of all time. Already I love Bill Walton. He's my guy. Feet problems cost him his career. Yeah. You get it. He cost him his career. Literally cost him his career were his feet.
So, but neither of those guys were 7'5". You look at Greg Oden, like 7'3", 7'4". I don't remember how tall Greg Oden was. He was massive.
Yeah, big old dude.
Yeah, you just don't see it. And I won't. The only other one that comes to my mind is obviously Hashim Thabit, but that was never injuries. He never played hard enough to get injured. So I will never compare those two. Like, Okay. So King Meeks was backing me up here.
Yeah.
So I apologize, King Meeks. He was making my point. I'm not used to that. He's normally making Rusty's points for us.
He agreed with us. He was like,
I'm not used to King Meeks being on my side.
We were like, wait a minute, King Meeks. I love it.
I was like, surely he's not making a Sam Bowie reference as a pro for Zach Edey.
we didn't know what to do. We were like, hold on.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have saw through that. My simple mind this early.
Hey,
shot arrows at King Meeks undeservedly.
You need to get mesh, man. The mesh helps your brain.
Lets that brain breathe a little bit.
That's right. Last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, brother. It is Monday. We haven't got to talk about Mondays or lasagnas lately in a long time. Not a long time. For those of you who haven't caught the show. Mondays, we celebrate the good and the bad from the weekend because Garfield the cat, he hates Mondays, but he loves lasagna. I think it's important
Absolutely.
to acknowledge both.
Me and Garfield are one and the same in that.
Dude,
I love lasagna.
Give me a Stouffer's lasagna on any day of the week but Monday, and I'm a happy man. I like
absolutely
delicious. I'll go first with my Monday and my lasagna because I can use mine in really quick words.
Okay.
My Monday thing that I hated so much for this weekend, 2 words: doggy diarrhea. One of my dogs, so sick. And he stays in the bed with us. And in the middle of the night, last night, or 2 nights ago, I hear, and I go, buddy, I turn the light on. He is throwing up on my pillow. And I was like, ah! And so I got up, and then he gets in the floor and just diarrhea. And you know what? I think I could spell diarrhea right now. Blind. D-I-A-H-H-R-A. I don't know. I've typed it so many times in my
couldn't
fury.
spell check. That's one of the words. Like restaurant and diarrhea, I'll never know.
Restaurant. I have to say it like that. Diarrhea doesn't make any sense. That was my Monday. Doggy diarrhea. My lasagna. Easy. 1 word. Cobbler. There is a cobbler.
You love fixing shoes, don't you?
No, get the ah!
He fixed shoes this weekend.
Man, that was funny, sir. That was funny. No, the kind you eat, the casserole of desserts.
Yes.
Not the shoemaking. I'm a hat maker, not a cobbler. There's a cobbler truck up the road, and
a cobbler truck?
Dude, it's a truck.
Oh, I'd have to sell my house. I eat so much cobbler.
It is. They've got peach. They've got pineapple. They've got mixed berry. They got cherry. They got apple. They got honey hot apple. Like I don't know.
Maybe pushing the limits there.
Maybe pickle lane, but
yeah.
Either way, I had Wayno's not here. I was going to try to explain to Wayno what cobbler was. I didn't know if he had it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. If you guys don't know what cobbler is, but I had cobbler. I had a delicious peach. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll go, Rusty. I'll show you. It is just delicious, and I just love cobbler. It was we had cobbler a lot growing up in the house because my brother was allergic to dairy growing up, so he couldn't have
Get a new brother.
Yeah. Dude, trust me. He's 6'4". He's taller than me. He emasculates me in every way. If I could have gotten a new brother by now, I would have. It's just I was out of the cards, my friend. He couldn't have milk, so we had a lot of cobbler. My mom made cobbler growing up. So
cobbler, I mean, you didn't suffer.
No, I did not.
You got cobbler.
Yep, cobbler and ice cream, baby.
It's not like, oh, you can't have ice cream. Here's nothing. It was here's cobbler, and you're like, okay.
You know what? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So in the deep south, we do chocolate cobbler too.
What?
You ever had chocolate cobbler?
No.
It's like anything that's you take in Mississippi and I'm sure Tennessee, but you take any bread and you just put chocolate on it. Biscuits, cobbler, anything. We just put chocolate in it.
Yep. I think I literally had a piece of bread. Now that you're saying that, I wasn't thinking. I had a piece of bread and a piece of chocolate last night for dinner. Unbeknownst, I just ate it. It was good.
Yeah, it just goes together, even when you don't intend it.
Nope.
All right. My Monday is we had a baseball tournament this weekend, state tournament. It lasted 3 days. It was Friday at 2:00. Saturday was 2 games, 1 game yesterday on Sunday. And that was okay. The Monday aspect is my wife was out of town.
Oh no.
All weekend.
Oh no.
Yeah, and so I had to get a babysitter on Saturday. Our neighbors came over, and I came home, and the house was just like a tornado had gone through it, and they left the windows open. And then Friday, luckily, I was able to get back before daycare closed. And then yesterday, I took them with me. It was 90 degrees playing baseball. And my oldest daughter, and my niece was there. And so they were just like, can we just take them to the van and watch a movie? And I was like, yes. That's a great idea. Superb idea. How did I not think of this? And we went 0-4, which was a heartbreaker.
Oh no!
Yeah, and we really lost a heartbreaker last night. We were winning the whole game until we weren't. We were the 8 seed because we went 0-3, so we were playing the 1 seed. And I'm telling you, and it was ripe for an upset, and we had it.
Oh,
my boy is a lefty. He smoked a ball over the right fielder's head, and I lost my mind. So wasn't all bad. I guess that's probably my lasagna.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I the joy,
and that my wife is back.
You're like, thank God, man. I don't have a what. There's nothing quite like just the joy I feel watching my little brother either hit a ball in the gap or over somebody's head.
Right.
I can't imagine seeing your son do it. That's got to be such an incredible.
It is. It's wild because they struggle, and it's like they finally they got their first win a couple weeks ago, which was great, and they've just kind of been climbing that mountain. And it last night they were there, and he turned on, and it's coach pitch, and so he turned on one and smoked it, and off the bat I was like, this is a home run. And because there is no home runs over the fence. We've had one hit on us, which was impressive, and everybody was confused. Like, what do we do? But typically, it's like little league home runs where you hit it past somebody, and then they throw the ball around, and it's like, this is going to be a home run. And the guy in front of him was too slow, so he had to stay at third.
Oh, but you're like, go!
Yeah. But yeah, that was probably my lasagna of the week. Was he played really well. He caught a couple balls in the outfield, made a couple threw out a couple guys at second.
Heck yeah.
He had a good game.
Heck yeah.
So
it's better than that and
doggy.
That and
better than doggy diarrhea.
I didn't want to say diarrhea again, but yeah, it's better than doggy diarrhea. That's going to do it for our show today, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to be discussing I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about coaching candidates. There's been a lot of stuff going through the telephone. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going through the rumor mill about possible coaches joining the staff. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. $2 Sports Show today at 11. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that is right. 11 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Beef. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the beef. We also have the Anthony Saint show today at 2. And I forgot to take commercial today, guys. It's on me. But ounceofhope.com. Check them out. www.ounceofhope.com. Promo code Bluff City. It will get you 15% off. Go check them out. They're great. I'm going to Bonnaroo this weekend. I'm going to get my Bill Walton on. I've already placed my order over the weekend. It's on its way. I'm going to have a great one. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll run the commercial tomorrow to get you more stuff, but we will see you then. If we can leave you guys with anything today, remember these 2 things. Remember to be a little weird today like that. And remember to smile. Oh, he's frowning. Don't frown. Smile. Bye, guys. Have a good one.